Hey everybody, welcome to Kyle Chronicled. Today I'm in Los Angeles. We're going to be visiting some locations from the movies of Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite directors. Some of my favorite movies of all time. He shot tons of stuff all around LA. We're going to be hitting up spots from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Kill Bill, True Romance, Pulp Fiction, and others.
Plus, I've got exclusive footage from the set of a new Tarantino project, The Cliff Booth Story, starring Brad Pitt. They're shooting now in LA, and I was able to get down there and check it out. So stick around for that.
And our first stop was used in Kill Bill Volume 1. This was Vernita Green's house.
The exact spot where the bride, played by Uma Thurman, finally catches up with Vivica A. Fox's character, and they have that crazy fight right here in the living room. The cool thing about this is that Tarantino used the interior as well. You can see that's the same window. He likes to use real locations whenever possible, which is awesome. If you look across the street, you'll see this beautiful home in the city of Pasadena. She pulls up in the P-Wagon right here. Very cool. I love this movie. Let's check out the next spot. From Pulp Fiction in 1994, this is where Butch, played by Bruce Willis, accidentally runs into his old boss, Marcellus Wallace. Then he intentionally runs into his old boss. Marcellus's day just keeps getting worse from there. Classic scene from that movie. You can see not much has changed in the last 30 plus years. That apartment building looks almost the same.
I'll be damned.
This former bowling alley in Glendale was used as the exterior for Jack Rabbit Slim's, the fictional restaurant where Vincent Vega takes out Mia Wallace in Pulp Fiction for a $5 shake and a dance contest. It wasn't used much, and none of the interiors were shot here. That was the soundstage. But you can kind of see it in the reflection of the car as they pull up, but it's just such a cool spot. I had to include it. Here it is back in the day. Today it's part of Disney's Imagineering campus, and no longer open to the public. Rumor is there's still a few bowling lanes here for employees. This is a classic spot and one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. This is where the iconic opening scene of Reservoir Dogs was filmed, and the world was introduced to a new type of cinema. And though it may look like an empty parking lot next to another abandoned bowling alley, it's a legendary Tarantino sequence and one of the coolest opening credit scenes ever. The Safari Inn in Burbank is where Clarence and Alabama decide to hide out from the bad guys in 1993's True Romance. Written by Tarantino and directed by Tony Scott. You can see him pull up in the pink Cadillac right here. is also where later in the movie, Alabama gets into the fight with James Gandolfini's character. Then we see Clarence and Alabama escaping, coming down this little walkway. The Safari Inn has been used in a lot of movies and TV shows over the years, including Desperate Housewives, Monk, Prison Break, and Apollo 13. This modest little home in Studio City was used as Jimmy's house in Pulp Fiction. This is where Jules and Vincent come to hang out with their pal Jimmy after a rough morning. The exterior doesn't really appear in the film, but they used all the interiors here, including the garage when they're cleaning up the car, and that backyard scene when they get hosed down by the wolf. All of those scenes were shot here, and as you can see, there are no signs of any kind in the front of the house. But I did find some pictures online of when the house was for sale, and check this out. Little nod to the movie there. I like that. Now we've made our way up high into the Hollywood Hills to find the former home of Rick Dalton. From 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, this is the cul-de-sac that stood in as Cielo Drive in the movie. This location was used extensively throughout the film, from the opening scenes to the very last shot. It's one of my favorite spots to come see because you feel like you're in the movie when you're here. It looks exactly the same. You almost expect a drunken Rick Dalton to come out and start screaming at you for pulling your car up here. Google Maps gives you a good look at the pool that was used in several scenes, including the very end of the movie when Rick has to fire up the old flamethrower. This is another exterior only spot, but they couldn't have asked for a better real-world location to tell that story. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is probably my favorite Tarantino movie, so when I heard they were shooting the sequel in LA, I decided to grab my camera and go check it out. It's called The Adventures of Cliff Booth, and it follows Brad Pitt's character. They've converted this block to look like 1977. That's when the movie takes place. So you've got the 70s storefronts here on both sides of the street, phone booths, movie posters, obsolete appliances for sale. It was super impressive seeing all the attention to detail up close, especially considering most of this will probably never end up in the film. I'm really looking forward to this movie. It comes out sometime next year on Netflix. It's written by Tarantino and directed by David Fincher. And that'll bring us to the end of the video. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe while you're here. I love reading all the comments, so let me know what you think. Let me know your favorite Tarantino film. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.